Enjoy the show.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode number 118 of Siriani Says Sports, the show where it's all sports all the time. And I'm recovering from my pneumonia, which is great. But we appreciate you joining us today. We have a lot to get into, and Lauro has something going on after the show, so we're gonna try and make this as quick as possible. We're gonna try and get to the hour, or at least maybe a little bit under an hour, depending on what happens. But before we get started on Siriani Says Sports, we are sponsored by the following: Outback Steakhouse in Middletown, Aussie Rules; Balance Enterprises, building projects for success; DAS Technology Consulting, simplifying technology; Jag One Physical Therapy, official therapy provider for the teams you love; Grace Foundation of New York, support, empower, educate, enhance; Integrated Planning Group, client-focused, advice-driven; and Rocco's Original Italian Ices, a sweet summertime treat all year round. So, anyways, I'm Matt Siriani, and like I said, I'm recovering from my pneumonia. I'm feeling great, and I can't watch my team on Sunday because I got a conflict going on. That's Ryan Barrett Jr. His team's out, unfortunately. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm good, Maddie. It's good to have company there with Mr. Lauro on the kind of just sit back and watch party. But yeah. Maddie, I don't know why you've been sounding like Optimus Prime right now, Maddie, with your mic being like staticky, but whatever. But I'm doing good. Last show before school starts again, so rip. But yeah, I'm doing good. Football is almost over, Maddie. Honestly, as a Jets fan, this is my favorite time. Right, the speculation with the Jets, what they do every offseason, it's fun, Maddie. Remember how I told you like a couple weeks ago that I didn't want to start learning all the draft prospects?
Right.
Well, I know about 50. I know a lot of them now. So I've been doing my digging. I know we're gonna have a little bit of a mock draft today, but I'm excited.
And down below, that's Lauro Antonio. How you doing, Lauro?
Lauro, unmute yourself.
Lauro, you can mute your mic. How you doing, Lauro?
Sorry.
You're good.
Sorry for the muting and all that. I'm doing fantastic. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this bracket challenge, and I pretty much have my picks in for the most part. All
right. So the agenda is simple. It's very brief. We're going to quickly go over the national championship game. Then we're going to go over our picks, or the top 18 for the NFL draft of 2023. Then we're going to do the bracket challenge, and then I'll be in the show. But anyways, let's get started. So I'm not even going to go over the national championship game as a whole.
Boo.
That was my quick brief on this, guys. It was over in the second half. That's all I got to say.
All I got to say is the Pac-12 shouldn't be a thing.
You mean the Big 12?
Big 12. Sorry, Big 12, not Pac-12. Sorry. Pac-12, you're good. Big 12, you suck.
Just embarrassing. Just embarrassing. I actually looked at a lot of stats for this game.
Ridiculous.
It was the most lopsided college football championship game in history, going all the way back to 1869. The most lopsided championship game ever.
And you know what's crazy, Maddie? Is this brings up the what ifs too. Like, if they killed TCU the way they did, do you think if Michigan would have won, do you think Michigan would have stood a better shot? I think they would have killed whoever they played. Honestly,
listen, Michigan was a really good team, but like they lost.
They lost to TCU, so there is no what ifs. But all I'm gonna say about all you Georgia fans, and I told Maddie and Laura this right before we started, but Georgia has gotten lucky their last two college championship wins because the team they played before, right? And again, I'll preface this first. You play who's in front of you, right? But they've played two teams. Last year they played Bama, and this year they played Ohio State. And last year Alabama lost their best receiver in Jamison Williams
That's
in the
right.
game. They did not have their second best receiver, John Mechie, last year at all during that game. And then this year, Ohio State lost their best receiver in Marvin Harrison Jr. midway through the game and didn't have Jackson Smith and Jigba the whole game. So all I'm going to say is Georgia's gotten very lucky getting to the national championship. Once they've gotten there, they've kind of handled business. I mean, last year, the Bama thing saved them a little bit. But this year, I mean, they kind of got a little lucky getting past Ohio State because I don't think they would have beat them.
Good point. That's a really good point. And you mentioned it before. Also, you had another critique for a certain Georgia player.
Yeah, Mr. Stetson Bennett, you got to chill out there, buddy. I mean, like, he just bothers me, Maddie, the fact of, like, he does, like, all these things, right? And, like, I get it. Like, you're a player. Like, you can get hyped and all that stuff. But, like, I'm sorry, but, like, you can't be going like this when you're 25 years old playing against a bunch of 19 and 20. Like, I'm sorry, right? Like, you had, like, filled that. You have your man strength. You are, like, now a full, like, adult. Like, these guys are still growing. They're still getting bigger, right? Like, it just bothers me. And I saw this tweet, Matt, that there's 5 quarterbacks just in the playoffs alone that are younger than Stetson Bennett. And those are Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, Tua Tagovailoa, Josh Allen, and
Justin Herbert,
which to me is just shocking. And like, if you're Stetson Bennett or you're an NFL team and you see him coming out of the draft, him and Hendon Hook are both at like 24, 25. It's kind of a red flag, not a red flag, but it's kind of alarming looking at just that stat in general, that there's 5 quarterbacks out of the 14 playoff teams that are younger than Stetson Bennett. And then you look at Patrick Mahomes, who's 27, Joe Burrow, I think, who's the same age. So it's absurd.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Laurel, I know you hated the fact that Georgia won back-to-back titles, but you want to know what you probably wouldn't like the most?
Yeah.
So on the pregame show,
I saw this.
Nick Saban was on the pregame show.
I know.
And he was sitting next to David Pollack. And then David Pollack basically said right to Nick Saban's face, Georgia is now the top dog in college football. That must have been tough to swallow.
It must have been, yeah. But I still think Alabama has a good football team, and I look forward to for them to get back into the playoff next year.
Who's their quarterback next year?
We'll have to find out. I have Alabama's roster right in front of me, so.
I mean, yeah, Alabama's been getting kind of lucky, like Clemson and like these other teams, right? Where you go from generational talent to generational talent, going from obviously Jalen Hurts to Tua to Bryce Young, like how Clemson went from Deshaun Watson to Trevor Lawrence. Like, it's sometimes crazy, and I think for Alabama, the problem is like they even called this year and last year rebuild years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but like, dude, this year they're losing. So like, if you look over the past 3 years, right? Even just ever since, let's just actually take since Tua has been drafted. Right?
Yeah.
They lost Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith. They lost Jerry Jeudy. They lost Pat Surtain. They have a bunch of guys that were gone. Right? They're gonna lose this year. Probably like they've lost a ton of linemen. They've lost running backs all over. They're going to lose probably both their safeties and Brian Branch, and
also they have a running back that's coming in. That's Jamar Gibbs. Jameer Gibbs is going to be good.
He's going to go. They're going to have
Jalen Milroe. I think is going to be the starting quarterback for Alabama. He's going to be a sophomore next year.
Okay, yeah, and then losing both their safeties in Jordan Battle and I just said his other name. I'm forgetting his name, but. Yeah, dude, like Bama next year, dude, they don't look like they have a lot of guys, dude, at all. And you look at Georgia, and like what's so crazy, Maddie, is like they had all like and the same thing. They had all their top guys last year go, and they're still gonna have 2 top 15 guys probably in Kelly Ringo and Jalen Carter on their defense, and then probably Roderick Jones be another like top 20 pick. Like they're gonna have 3 top 20 guys, and they probably lost like 9 guys in the first round last year, which is absurd.
Yeah, and they lost half their starters from last year's defensive team, and they still held.
They were still the best team in defense in college. It's absurd, but I don't know, dude. That's why I feel like in college it's hard to be good for so long because like the draft just steals half your team every year.
It does, it really does. But like you know what, Georgia recruits well. Kirby Smart's a great coach, and ultimately they're coached well. So ultimately, Georgia's going to be good for years to come. Whether they're the top dog in all of college football.
Dude, it might be USC's year next year. It might
could be
be. Caleb's coming.
I mean, Caleb's going to be the top quarterback next year.
Dude, Caleb is good.
He's so phenomenal.
He's good.
All right. So that's our little briefing on the national championship game. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but we do have some draft time news, and I know Ryan loves the draft more than anything. So we're going to go over the top 18 picks for the 2023 NFL draft and who has them. So the first overall pick, Chicago.
Hell yeah.
You're on the clock. Followed by the Houston Texans. They have the second pick. Then we have the Arizona Cardinals at 3, the Colts at 4, the Broncos are at 5. I think they actually they traded to the Seahawks.
Seattle's at 5.
The Seahawks have the 5th pick in the draft because of the Russell Wilson infamous trade.
Yeah.
So the Seahawks have the 5th pick. The Detroit Lions have the 6th pick. Good for them.
That's via Matthew Stafford still.
Yeah. The Raiders have the 7th pick. The Falcons have the 8th pick. 9 is Carolina. 10 are the Philadelphia Eagles. 11 are the Tennessee Titans. The Texans have the 12th pick because of the Deshaun Watson trade. The Jets are 13. The Patriots are 14. The Packers are 15. The Commanders are 16. The Steelers are 17. The Detroit Lions are 18. So, if you look at this draft, the Texans and Lions have multiple first-round picks in the top 18.
Yeah.
And the Bears have the top pick in the draft because the Texans don't know how to choke.
They pulled the Jets, except they pulled it for Bryce Young and not Trevor Lawrence.
Exactly. So, knowing that I got my 2 AFC East guys who are out of the playoffs completely.
Hey.
I figured I'd ask them a little bit of some questions about what they should do with their respective picks. So, I'm going to start off with Brian because the Jets are sitting at 13. You got your quarterback, you got your running back, you got your corner, you got your
receiver. Quarterback?
Maybe you have a quarterback. It really depends on how the pans out. But you're sitting at 13. The offense was not really great towards the second half of the year. What do you do?
Yeah. So when I look at the Jets' needs, right, at least in the first round, there's three things outside of quarterback that you look at, right? And one of them is the offensive line. The offensive line meaning tackle, guard, or center. Because if you look at the Jets, right, Kai Becton's coming back for year 4, who hasn't played since 2020. Obviously, ABT's a god, right? Obviously, Laken Tomlinson was underwhelming, right? Connor McGovern, their center, is a free agent. But for the Jets, you look at offensive line, you look at safety, or you look at linebacker. And I've done my research a little bit in this draft already, which, I just can't help myself sometimes. Right? When you look at this, right, for tackles, there's 3 good ones that they project that I've looked at that they think are going to be pretty good. And that, Maddie, is who I sent that tweet today in the group chat of Mr. Paris Johnson of Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think he may be the best. He's 6'6", like 315. The other guy I had my eyes on last night was Mr. Broderick Jones, the left tackle for Georgia. Mm-hmm. He's 6'4", 315. And then the one guy that's kind of scares me a little bit is Peter Skoronski of Northwestern. And kind of a flaw is like what people say is he has short arm length. And the only thing I'll say about that is Rashawn Slater, also out of Northwestern, had short arms. And look at him. He's probably a Pro Bowl. He was a Pro Bowler last year for the Chargers. Mm-hmm. But I think you have them, right? And then I think if you're the Jets also, I think safety you can wait, right? Because I don't think that outside of the kid from Alabama, right, outside of Brian Branch, I don't think there's a safety worthy in the first round. And I also don't really like taking safety in the first round necessarily, at least at 13 where the Jets are. So my top priority will probably be tackle, but linebacker, there's some like Trenton Simpson this year, their linebacker out of Clemson. They compared Isaiah Simmons, where he kind of just goes all over the place. Like he's like a roaming linebacker. He can play slot corner, he can play linebacker, play free safety, play strong safety. He kind of just moves all over the chessboard. So I think that's there. But for me, dude, I got one of Broderick Jones or Paris Johnson. Laura, I see you over there laughing. I think the Patriots and the Jets are going to be competing for those offenses.
No, I'm not. I just saw an article that I just thought of you guys about is that why Jeff Saturday believes he's the right coach for the Colts despite a 1-7 record. And that's why I put hashtag the fighting Jeff Saturdays.
Oh yeah, I'm a
Oh,
Lawrence.
boy.
I think the Jets and the Patriots are going to be.
Look, Matt. I mean, Ryan. The reason
Yes.
why I call them the Fighting Jeff Saturdays is because of you, my man.
I call it because of my friend because I saw it and I'm like, that's pretty funny actually.
The Fighting
But-
Jeff Saturdays.
I get you. And then Loro, what I was going to say is I think the Jets and the Patriots they're going to be fighting for these offensive linemen at back-to-back picks at 13 or 14. I'll say.
I mean,
Good
it's
point.
possible, but we'll see.
So, Lauro, given the Patriots are sitting at 14, one pick ahead of the Jets,
Behind
the Jets, what do?
I would have to go get a right tackle because the Patriots' offensive line was atrocious, and we need to improve on that. We need to get younger at some spots on the offensive line, and I do think that getting a younger left and right tackle will really help with protecting Mac Jones more.
Nice. I know.
real quick, Matty. Speaking of Mac Jones, did you guys see what Bill Belichick said about Mac Jones?
What do you say?
They asked Bill Belichick, they're like, how do you feel Mac Jones? Like, how do you feel about Mac Jones being your starting quarterback next year? And Bill goes, "Oh, I think Mac Jones can be a really good starting quarterback in the NFL." That's the exact words that the Jets used when they were trading Sam Darnold. Oh, I think Sam Darnold's gonna be a really good quarterback in the NFL. So I don't know, man, but I do agree, Lauro. I do think that probably offensive line for both of us, either tackle or guards, are gonna go pretty high. Because remind me if I'm correct, Lauro. Is Trent Brown a free agent?
Yeah, I mean, I like him because of his size, but he just was getting a lot of penalties.
I know. I think Isaiah Wynn's gone, right? I think.
Yeah, we don't need Isaiah Wynn anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. So the Giants have to wait until their season's over in order for them to get a pick. If I had to pick what the Giants do, honestly, I think the Giants might need help in the secondary. I mean,
Maddie, come on. Not a receiver, Maddie? Really?
a receiver is definitely helpful, but I feel like after what you put in the chat about DeAndre Hopkins, I feel like the Giants might grab a receiver.
No. Not you. Not you. And not the Patriots either. DeAndre Hopkins, come home.
If he comes to the Jets, I swear to God.
Bro. Maddie, you got Kenny Galladay still. He caught a touchdown yesterday.
Oh, don't even get me started with that Kenny Galladay crap. Don't even get me started with
That's
that.
what some Giant fans I was going to go, oh, he's alive. Kenny Galladay. All I'm saying, Maddie, is if history serves you good, Maddie, look at the first round receivers and how they've been doing recently. Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Drake London, they've all been doing good. Brandon Ayuk, a lot of these first round receivers, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, they've all been doing well, Maddie. So if you're the Giants, dude, and this does seem to be, from what I've been looking at, a pretty good receiver class. The kid Keyshawn Butte is pretty good out of LSU. Obviously, people love the kid Quentin Johnston from TCU, who we saw last night.
He's good.
He's good. They got Jordan Addison. Oh, I just said him, right? Yeah, Jordan. They got a bunch of them. But all I'm saying, Maddie, first round receivers have become kind of a necessity, honestly. So I agree. Second, but I think receivers are glaring need more than that, right?
It is a glaring need because the Giants pass catchers are not that great. And I read an article saying, and they literally said on paper, the Giants have one of the worst receiving corps in the NFL.
Dude, it might be the worst. I don't think there's a team out there that has a worse receiver. Dude, in terms of, I'm not saying in terms of talent, but I'm saying in terms of names. You look at these receivers, and I'm not even trash the Giants or anything, but you tell me your pass catchers, Daniel Bellin, who? I'm sorry, I know he's a rookie and stuff, but I just look at your guys, and Maddie, me, you, and Laura, we know our sports players, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, who? Who are these people? And it's no knock on the Giants because I mean, Lord, they went to the playoffs with these receivers. When look guys like the Jets that Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Denzel Mims, Corey Davis, and didn't go, or the Lions that didn't go, right? Or the Packers, right? You're like, wow, that's kind of a testament.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you mentioned the playoffs. Now it's time for the challenge.
We'll see.
And this is ultimately for bragging rights, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the Siriani Says Sports NFL Playoff Bracket Challenge. So here's how this is going to go. We're going to pick every single playoff game, and there's a point system for how this is going to go. If for every wild card game you get right, that's 1 point. For every divisional game you get right, that's 2 points. For every championship game you get, every conference championship game you get, that's 3 points. The Super Bowl is 4.
This
and
is
you
so
get bonus
hard.
points if and only if you get the score, if you're close to the score, and you get the MVP right.
This is March Madness all over again, dude. This makes me sick. I
Well,
hate
it's
this.
simpler than March Madness.
But I hate this because you get one team gets upset,
Obviously,
it's
there's
all
still
over.
like a lot of
Yeah, but like one team gets upset, dude, it's all over. Like, I hate this. But like, no. Come on, Matty, reconnect, boy.
All right. Everyone's name is written down. So we're gonna start off with Laurel because I know Laurel's got to go. So Laurel, we're gonna go game by game, and you're gonna tell me who wins that game and why, and then we're gonna move on to the other round. Are you ready, Laurel?
Yes, I am. Ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, he's frozen. I'll be back. I guess I'll hit you first, Laura, and I'll wait. No, he's back.
He's back? Okay, I'm back. All right, so Laurel, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with the NFC side of the bracket. We got Seahawks 49ers. Who wins that game and why?
I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers because I think that this team is really complete on both sides of the football. Brock Purdy's going to be a game manager in this game, but I really think who's going to be a big factor in this game is George Kittle and Debo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk and McCaffrey too. And Nick Bosa is going to get a lot of sacks on Geno Smith.
Awesome. All right, so now Laurel, I wonder who you're going to pick for this next game. We got the Minnesota.
Chill out, Maddie. Chill out.
We got the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants in Minnesota. Who do you have?
I'm going with the New York Giants, and I have the New York Giants beating the Vikings because Kirk Cousins has history of choking in the playoffs, and I have the Giants playing the Philadelphia Eagles next week. So 1 versus 6, since 2 versus 7 in my scenario, the Niners are going to play the winner of the Bucks and Cowboys matchup.
My man, I'm already liking you already, Laurel. Okay, so next up we have the Monday night matchup. We have the Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady's undefeated against the Dallas Cowboys. Who do you pick?
I am going to pick Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because Tom Brady's going to continue that trend, and I think the Buccaneers will win in a close one.
Nice. And then we will also get a happy Stephen A. Smith on Tuesday if that happens.
Yes, I want to see it, baby.
All right. So next up we have the AFC side of things.
The AFC is a crapshoot, dude.
This could go either way in the AFC.
Dude, the AFC scares me, dude. There's no game I'm like, oh, they're gonna win.
Okay. All right, Laurel, we got the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa may or may not play in this game. Who do you have?
I have the Buffalo Bills, regardless if Tua plays or not, because I think this team is hungry, this team is poised, and this team is hungry for a Super Bowl title.
All right. Bengals and Ravens. Lamar Jackson is okay.
I'll be back.
He's coming back. All right. So next up, we have the Ravens and Bengals in the jungle. Lamar Jackson, we don't know if he's going to play. He's looking for that contract. Bengals, Ravens, who do you have?
I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals because Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, that offense is going to destroy the Ravens. Regardless if Lamar plays or not, I think the Ravens are pretty much one and done.
Nice. All right. And then this game is actually kind of fun. Jacksonville Jaguars and Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, what a game.
We're calling that one, Matt. And
I know. So that's going to be a fun one. Who do you have?
Cool. I'm going to pick Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars to win. So basically in my scenario, I have the Chiefs taking on the Jaguars, and then I have the Bills taking on the Bengals.
Interesting.
So Matt's a little frozen there, guys.
He is. He'll be back. But like, Laura, the AFC for me, dude, like when I look at these games, right, I kind of agree with you with Buffalo, but like, dude, the Chargers game for me is like, ugh.
Okay, so according to Laura's bracket, he has the Chiefs and Jaguars. And then he has the Bills and Bengals. All right, so now we're going to advance to the divisional round. In the NFC side of things, we're going to go Bucks 49ers. Who do you have?
For me, I have I'm going to go with the 49ers because I just think the Niners defense is going to really get to the Bucks. The Bucks just don't have enough weapons for Brady. That's why I think the Niners are going to move on to the NFC Championship game.
And who is their opponent in said NFC Championship game? Is it my Giants, please, or is it the Philadelphia Eagles?
It's going to be the Giants. It's going to be the sorry. 49ers and Eagles.
No, good man, Loro. Don't give them too much.
All right, fair enough. Any reason why?
I think this would be a fun matchup. Talk about both offenses being good between the 49ers and Eagles. You wrote down 49ers, Eagles in my NFC Championship game.
Yep. All right.
And then
now the AFC side, Bills, Bengals. What's going on?
I'm going to go with the Bills in this game just because I think that if you look at it after the DeMar Hamlin situation and all that, I think the Bills want to take this back, but I don't have a neutral site AFC Championship game. I'm going out on a limb here. I have the Jaguars beating the Chiefs in the divisional round in Arrowhead. I think we're going to see the end of that consecutive streak of the Chiefs making it to the AFC Championship game. So I have the Bills and Jaguars in the AFC Championship game, and we're gonna have Buffalo host it.
Okay,
I respect it.
So basically, in my championship game brackets, I have 49ers, Eagles, Bills, and Jaguars.
Wow.
Well, I respect it.
Okay, now for your conference.
Because I kind of don't want this. I don't want that neutral site thing. I want someone to host it. That's why I'm going with this.
Interesting. All right, now for your conference championship game picks. Eagles, 49ers. Who's big into the Super Bowl?
I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think Jalen Hurts is going to wear out that Niners defense. The Niners have struggled at times against mobile quarterbacks. So give me the Philadelphia Eagles to win this.
All right, interesting. And then Bills, Jaguars.
I'm going with the Bills, and it's going to be Bills and Eagles in Super Bowl 57, and that's the hope that you and I get to call that one.
Awesome. And then last but not least, your Super Bowl pick, Eagles, Bills. Who takes home the Lombardi Trophy?
Going with the Eagles, and Jalen Hurts is my pick for Super Bowl MVP.
All right, so you have the Eagles, and you have Jalen Hurts as Super Bowl MVP.
Oh,
yes.
I'm not behind your picks anymore. I was respecting it, and then I heard the Eagles. I was like, nah.
Well, Ryan, it's your turn now. Let's see if you can do better. So
you're not gonna like how I am, Maddie. You're not gonna. You're not.
By the sound of your voice, I'm already not gonna like what you say.
You already have my picks down, and I hope it pays off, man.
All right. So remember, this is out of a possible 24 points. All right. So we're gonna start with the NFC side for Ryan. Seahawks, 49ers. What do you got?
The Niners. I mean, they're. I'm gonna say in the NFC, there's two teams in a league above everybody else, right? And that's the Eagles and the Niners, right? And I think the Niners outclassed the Seahawks. I don't think the Seahawks deserve to be in it, but whatever. We'll see. I got the Niners. Eddie gets frozen at the worst times. But next one. Man, you get frozen at the worst angles, bro. Your pictures when you get frozen, it's hysterical.
I know it's not good. I'm using my iPad, by the way.
I can tell.
So that's why I'm freezing at the worst time. All right, so you picked the 49ers.
I did.
Next game.
You're not gonna like me.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I said it today, Maddie. I'm sorry. I'm picking the Vikings. I'm sorry. Listen. I will explain to you why. Listen, because people call it luck, right? That the Vikings have won all these one-score games, right? And the Giants have too, right? And I know people are gonna bring back the Giant Viking game that the Giants only lost on a 52-yard field goal and the game was
61.
close. 51 and the game was close and the Giants had turnovers. What I say to you is that game has no relevancy to this playoff game. Just because you can't look at past games to dictate future games. The NFL has showed us that. And I just think, Maddie, the Giants, personally, I don't like them offensively enough. And I know we said it the first time, right, that the Giants are going to have to put up points. I just think against this Vikings offense with Hawkinson, with Dalvin Cook, with Justin Jefferson, with Adam Thielen, like, say what you want about Kirk Cousins. Maddie, I think you're pissed off the game's not at 8:20 because primetime Kirk, we all know how that guy is. But since it's at 4:30, I had the Vikings. I don't think the Giants are going to score with them, unfortunately, Maddie. I don't.
I don't like you already.
I'm a realist. Listen. I'm a realist. Maddie,
right.
I am in New York. I have no bad will against the Giants. I will be rooting for the Giants. I just don't believe that they will win.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Bill, Bucks, Cowboys. What's up?
I have the Bucks winning because if the Cowboys, Maddie, over the last 20 years have showed us anything, it is that they haven't won a playoff game in the last 20 years. And what is the classic Cowboys thing, Maddie? They get
Whatever
there,
can go wrong
will go
wrong.
Exactly. And I think they want none of that playoff time, right? And I want to talk about playoff time, but I can't stand the guy, right? But like, it's just, Maddie, the Cowboys, like, this is what they do. This is what they do. The fact that they barely beat the Eagles with Gardner Minshew, the fact that, like, you know what also kind of gets me, Maddie, is the Cowboys left a bad taste in your mouth going into the playoffs. Dak played terrible versus the Commanders. Terrible. He threw 2 picks. He should have threw 2 pick sixes, right? I think the whole, like, the Dallas team, like, this is what they do. They do well in the regular season. They play well. They get to the postseason, and it's just over. So for that case, I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Bucks. As we wait. I got the Bucks, Maddie. I got the Bucks. Because for the Cowboys, this is what they do.
I know whatever can go wrong will go wrong.
This is what they do. They play well and then they lose.
Okay. So you have the 49ers facing the Buccaneers.
Yes.
And you have the Vikings facing the 49ers.
Yes.
And then you also have
the Eagles Bucks. He's coming. Oh man, this guy can't keep his connection, bro. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Maddie.
I pass, ladies and gentlemen.
Rest in peace, Maddie. This is why we have laptops.
All right.
Yes. And I got it's Niners, Bucks, and then it's yes.
Actually, no, it's Niners, Minnesota because you have the Vikings winning.
Ah, fair enough. Okay.
All right. So you have that. Now we go to the AFC side of things. The AFC, I should be in. I should be in for a treat here.
Oh boy.
All right, Bills, Dolphins.
Bills. Dolphins are not. They're not them. They're not it. Bye-bye, Tyreek.
All right. Bengals and Ravens.
Bengals.
No coin flip needed. What's up?
I got the Bengals. Lamar. I don't think Lamar's going to play. And if Lamar does play, Lamar's not going to play well because he hasn't played in 5 weeks. And it's just the Bengals are in a league above the Ravens at this point.
All right. Sounds good. Next one is the enticing one. Jaguars, Chargers.
So I know Lauro over there had the Jags, and I love my boy Trevor, right? But I also can't stand that guy because he should have been ours, right? But it's just I don't like their defense as much as I like the Chargers.
Okay.
I think Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack are going to affect Trevor Lawrence. I think obviously they missed J.C. Jackson a hell of a lot. I think Derwin James is legit. Like I think on the Jags, like I think Tyson Campbell's good. Like I think they're just young, right? And obviously same thing for the Chargers, right? But obviously we got to see the status on Mike Williams, but dude, Justin Herbert is that freaking dude. And Trevor could be that dude right now, but Justin Herbert right now is that dude. And like I know we can look at the regular season and say the Jags absolutely killed the Chargers. That was Justin Herbert with 4 broken ribs. So this Justin Herbert's a different type of guy.
All right, so you're picking the Chargers in this one?
I am.
Wow.
No Duval County today. Sorry. No Duval County.
No Duval County. Okay, so that means you have Chiefs Chargers
I do.
in the division round, and you have Bills Chiefs, and you have Bengals and Bills.
Oh, you see, Matty, the AFC, Matty, as long as the Bengals and as long as the Bills do what they need to do, we are in for a treat. Because I don't care who wins that Chargers game, but we are living good for the AFC.
All right, now comes the divisional round. We're going to go to NFC first.
Yes.
Vikings, 49ers. Who advanced the NFC title game?
Oh, I'm gonna get flamed for this. I'm gonna get flamed for it. I got the Vikings. I'm gonna get flamed.
Why?
I'm gonna get flames. The Niners, dude. Brock Purdy just. I don't know. I'm gonna get flamed, right? But you gotta go with the hot takes, right, Maddie? And I know for my friend Aiden, the nickname we have for Mr. Kyle Shanahan is Coach Choke, right? And I don't know, dude. I think he may in front of the home crowd. He may choke. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I might be smoking that Vikings pack, dude. But whatever it is, Matty, it's tasting pretty damn good right now.
All right. Well, let me ask you this: if the Vikings are playing the NFC Championship game,
They are playing the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Because the Eagles are the team to beat in the NFC. I think Jalen, obviously, Matty. Jalen Hurts is my guy. Love Jalen. Right, I think AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, that whole offense, Matty, is a unit. Defensively, they got CJ Gardner-Johnson back. They're just getting back Roquan Smith. I think I don't know the status on Josh Sweat or Brandon Graham, but I think regardless of the fact, I think they'll be fine. I think the Eagles are beating the Bucks.
All right, so you have a Vikings Philly NFC Championship game.
Yes, I do.
And out for the AFC side. Bills Bengals.
You know what? I'm gonna agree with Laura. I got the Buffalo Bills. I think Joe Burrow. I love the Bengals. I love everything about them. I just think Buffalo now, like what Laura said with Damar Hamlin, with all that stuff, I think Buffalo's might have a little bit of extra juice at this point, right? And I think that the Bills, right, at their best, are better than the Bengals, and I think that's purely because of Josh Allen. I think we're going to see Josh Allen, Matty, go backpack mode this year. And I think he's going to carry the Buffalo Bills as far as they can go.
Interesting. Okay, Chiefs Chargers. This is juicy. Because Justin Herbert plays the Chiefs very, very well.
I know he does. But, Matty, every time the Chargers play the Bills, what happens? Or the Chiefs?
The Bills play the Chiefs. It's an instant classic.
No, I'm saying not the Chiefs. The Chiefs play the Chargers. What happens every time?
Chiefs win every time.
Every time. And I'm going to keep that trend, right? Because I think this Kansas City Chiefs team, Matty, might be the most complete Kansas City Chiefs team I've seen. In terms of defensively and offensively, I think obviously we've seen Travis Kelce be the best tight end in football, right? But I think the fact, Matty, that the Chiefs can actually run the football, right, makes them a scarier team than they've ever been. Right, the fact that Isaiah Pacheco had 800 yards on the ground, I think Jerick McKinnon had around whatever it is. They had over 1,000 yards on the ground, right? Which for the Chiefs is crazy. And the Chargers, dude, I don't know. I think my catalyst for this, the reason I think the Chiefs are going to win is because coaching. I don't like Brandon Staley as a coach, personally, and I think he's going to hold them back against the Chiefs. I think he's going to get out-coached.
All right, fair enough. Now for conference championship games. We have Vikings 40 Philly.
Give me the Eagles. Jalen, again, is that dude. They got too much offensive firepower for the Vikings to stop. I think the Eagles with Darius Slay and James Bradbury are going to be able to lock down Jefferson. I think they're going to keep Hockenson in check. And I think with that defensive line, they're going to keep Dalvin Cook in check. And I don't know, Matty, who on the Vikings is going to stop A.J. Brown.
Okay. And now this is the interesting one. Bills Chiefs in a neutral site. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, part 5 or 6.
I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
I'm gonna have the same Super Bowl as Laurel. I am. I'm gonna keep the Chiefs streak alive, but I do not think they make it this year. And I think that is this for the sheer fact, Matt, that I think the Buffalo Bills are better than the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Chiefs, right? I think they don't fare well up against Buffalo or the Bengals.
Mhm.
I know they beat the Bills last year, right? And that's why we got these new overtime rules for the playoffs changed because of that.
Yeah.
And I think this Bills team is better than they were last year.
Mhm.
And I think this Chiefs team is probably a little bit worse. I said they're more complete, but I didn't mean better. But I think I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills, Matty. I think, like I said, I think the Bills are going to get carried by Josh Allen this year, and they playing with some juice, dude. I got the Bills.
Breaking news. Lizard Flare may discontinue due to rising costs and supply chain shortages. Lizard Flare.
So I don't know.
Okay. So you have Eagles, Bills in the Super Bowl, much like Loro. And who do you have winning the Super Bowl?
I have the Buffalo Bills.
And who's your MVP?
Who is my MVP, Matty? It is Big Josh Allen. It is my boy Joshy. But I think for the Bills, right? I keep saying it. Josh Allen's that guy. And the one problem with the Eagles, Matty, is I think the inexperience is going to get to them.
Mm-hmm.
When I mean the inexperience, I mean the inexperience at quarterback. And as much as I love Jalen Hurts, right? The Bills have been in these situations, right? They haven't been to the Super Bowl, but they've been in these high-pressured, high-atmosphere situations.
Yes.
And I think as a team, I think the Bills will have been through more. Obviously, this is going to be Nick Sirianni's first time being on this big of a stage. Jalen Hurts' first time being on this big of a stage in the NFL. I know he's done it in college.
Yeah.
But I just think the experience and the veteran leadership of the Buffalo Bills is going to carry them through the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Josh Allen is my Super Bowl MVP.
All right.
Oh, boy. I think they're going to get theirs finally.
All right. So now comes my bracket. First off, as I'm writing this down, I mean, I'm wearing blue for a reason. So I'm gonna.
I wonder why, Maddie.
I'm wearing blue for a reason. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the simple one.
By the way, there's nothing I would love more, Maddie, than to see a playoff game in MetLife Stadium. I would love that. But that's kind of why I wanted the Packers to make it, because I think the Packers had a better shot of getting to the NFC Championship along with the Giants. It would have been crazy, but
it would have been insane. All right, so here we go. My bracket. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, first off, I'm going to start off easy. I'm going to go with the 49ers beating the Seahawks. The 49ers are just talented on both sides of the football. Nick Bosa led the league in sacks this year. The defensive secondary is good. Great receiving core. Brock Purdy's getting it done at quarterback. Probably the best quarterback play the 49ers have had all season long. They have a great ground attack. Geno Smith is his first playoff game. I don't think he'll do too great. And I think the 49ers advance easily. I think it's going to be like a 3-score game. So I'm going to go with the 49ers winning easily. All right. Obviously, I got the Giants beating the Vikings. And here's why. If you just pressure Kirk Cousins and keep Justin Jefferson in check, that's
big if. It's
a big if. If you keep Justin Jefferson in check, you'll be fine. That's a big task for Julian Love. That's a big task for Landon Collins. That's a big task for this Giants secondary. Last time they faced Justin Jefferson, they gave him 133 yards receiving. I think they're going to learn from their mistakes, and I think they're going to blanket Justin Jefferson this time around. They're going to stop the ground game. Dalvin Cook was not that effective the first time around. And like I said, if you just pressure Kirk Cousins with Dexter Lawrence and Kayvon Thibodeau, I think you actually have a really good chance. And plus, the Giants have a great ground and pound philosophy. I'm not really a big fan of the receiving core. But Daniel Jones has not turned the football over much over the last few games. So I'm going to say the Giants win this game, but it's going to be a close one.
Fair enough.
All right. Tampa Bay, Dallas. I want Stephen A. Smith to be happy. I'm going to go
Good man. They will
Smith
choke.
to be happy. And there's a reason why. If you saw the way the Dallas Cowboys played this past week against the Washington Commanders, there's a bunch of red flags.
Gross. Dak is not it.
Too many interceptions. The defense is inconsistent. And Tom Brady knows how to play big in big situations. And plus, Tom Brady, like I said, he's undefeated against the Dallas Cowboys.
Maddie, how much want to bet, Maddie, Mike Evans, whoever's lined up on Trayvon Diggs has over 100 yards? How much want to bet? Over 100 yards on a touchdown. I think it's going to be Mike Evans on Trayvon Diggs, but I bet money that person having over 100 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Overrated Trayvon.
I agree with that. Like I said before, if you can burn Trayvon Diggs, which is easy, that secondary is not that bad. It's not that bad of a defense to go against. Maybe the pass rush with Michael Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence is a little bit tough to go against.
Yeah.
But secondary-wise, it's not that hard to attack. So I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys losing another playoff game, and maybe Mike McCarthy's coaching career in Dallas ends.
We'll see.
All right. Next, we got the Buffalo Bills. The Miami Dolphins are on the AFC side of things. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. I mean, Miami, their Tua's might not play this game. It's going to be in Buffalo. It's going to be cold. And I know last time these two teams played in Buffalo, it was a close one, and it was late field goal attempt. But Josh Allen and the Bills are on a mission this year, and I just can't see them losing this game. Next, I got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, come on. I mean, and the Bengals by a long shot, because no Lamar, even with Lamar, this Bengals team is far and significantly better than they were in the beginning of the year. So, obviously, the Bengals offense is just amazing. I like how Joe Mixon took the coin out of his shoe after he scored a touchdown. I thought that was just a statement. And even though the Bengals might not even make it to the AFC Championship game according to your guys' brackets, I still have them playing very competitive football over the course of the playoffs. Next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Los Angeles Chargers.
You want the Trevor train or no?
I'm going to be honest. No.
Justin Herbert, let's go. My guy.
I gotta go with the Chargers, because Justin Herbert is going to be playing in an environment that really is not really that tough. Duval County is one of the most fairly lightheaded football environment ever. And Jacksonville, they're a young team. Trevor Lawrence looked good this year. He came out big down the stretch, but ultimately, I like Justin Herbert over Trevor Lawrence in this situation. If this is an offensive affair, I like Justin Herbert better than Trevor Lawrence in this situation. Plus, the Chargers defense is just a little bit better than the Jaguars defense is. So,
also, the weather is not going to be a factor, which is good.
Yeah, weather will not be a factor. So, I'm going with the Chargers. Now we go to the conference championship, or the divisional rounds. Bucks, 49ers. You're going to hate me for this. I got Tom Brady going to the NFC Championship game.
We both got Coach Choke, though. See, he's choking. I'm telling you.
I got Tom Brady. So here's why. This is last time Tom Brady played the 49ers, it was not pretty.
Tom Brady will be a Niner next year. Can't beat him, join him.
Good one. So, having said all that, Tom Brady is a big playoff guy. He's trying to get that one last Lombardi trophy before calling it a career. I think the Bucs are going to put up a better fight than most people would expect. And I know Kyle Shanahan's one of the better offensive minds in all of football. But if you're asking Brock Purdy to get you to the NFC Championship game, tough ask.
Yikes.
So, I got that. And then we got the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Giants, and I'm going to be realistic here. There's no chance in hell for the Eagles.
They're another. Maddie, just remember, all I'll say to any Giant fan that thinks they have a shot to beat the Eagles, just remember when they had their full team. Just remember.
Yeah, I remember. I know. Although the Eagles did struggle against their second and third string players, it doesn't matter. It was a game the Eagles had to win to get the home field advantage. Yeah. Giants are just not ready yet. They'll get there someday, but just not now. Then we have the Bills and Bengals. This is what everyone has right now in the divisional round. I'm on to Cincinnati. All right. I'm on to Cincinnati because Joe Burrow is a big-time player. We didn't get this game in full, but if you remember what happened before the Damar Hamlin situation, the Bengals were driving up and down the field on this Buffalo Bills defense, and I think they could do that in Buffalo.
Okay.
I think they could do that. I think it'd be a high-scoring shootout, but I think the Bengals come out victorious. Which leads me to Chiefs-Chargers.
It's hard to call. It's
a hard call. It's a really, really hard call. But you know what? I'm going to agree with the point that you said. I got to take the Kansas City Chiefs. And the reason why I got to take the Kansas City Chiefs in this one is simply because Brandon Staley is just a big question mark in the playoffs.
That's what it is. But not even just in the playoffs, in general, dude. And there's one thing, right? And I'll say this.
Lower, your mic's off. What's on your mind?
We don't know if that's going to happen.
We don't know if it's going to happen, but I just think that Brandon Staley, this deep into the playoffs, is not going to be as good coaching a divisional game as he would a wild card game.
No, that's what it is. And what I was going to say too, Maddie, is just one thing with having balls and then being stupid, right?
Yeah.
Like the Lions, what they did to the Packers, that's balls. That's not stupid. That's balls. Some of the calls that I see, some of the fourth down decisions I see Brandon Staley do are just flat out dumb.
Yeah.
Right? Like last year, they didn't get in the playoffs because Brandon Staley's an idiot. And I think that's
you're right.
I think
100%.
that's the part of coaching, which is what scares me. The Brandon Staley decision making is what scares me because I think that's what it is. Because I think they're gonna go some stupid call and they're gonna get screwed. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I heard what you said before we froze. So, Dan Campbell is Dan Campbell. He's a bold guy. He's a gutsy guy. Brandon Staley just doesn't know how to coach on fourth down sometimes.
Yeah.
And in big time situations, I think it's going to cost him. So I got Bengals Chiefs in this NFC AFC title game rematch, and I have the Bucs and Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship game. What you're about to hear.
Oh, don't do it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
All right.
Don't say it. Tom Brady's not
Hold
here.
on, did we freeze again? Yeah, we froze again.
you're
Oh, boy.
You're good. Oh, no. Not anymore.
Okay. Here we go. Hopefully this thing's up first. All right. So
You're good.
for the AFC Championship game, I'm going to pick. Just kidding. For the AFC Championship game, I'm actually going with the Cincinnati Bengals to beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ooh, all right.
I'm going with the Bengals because this Bengal team is motivated to get back to where they were supposed to be, hoisting that Lombardi Trophy. They came so close last year, and Joe Burrow just has a habit of beating Patrick Mahomes in a big spot. So I'm going to say the Bengals take care of business in a neutral site and go to the Super Bowl in Arizona.
Okay.
And it will be against
Don't say it. Don't say it.
the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, good.
The-
For a second,
Tom-
I thought you were going to be on the Tom Brady bandwagon, man. I was going to tell you, get the hell off that.
So the reason why I have the Eagles is just they're just too much for this Tom Brady offense. They're just too much defensively, offensively. They're just gonna play with the Buccaneers. It's just not gonna be pretty. So I have the Eagles and the Bengals in the Super Bowl, and much like all of you guys, I have the Eagles winning the Super Bowl as well.
Ooh!
I have the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, so the Bengals lose back-to-back Super Bowls.
Oh, that's tough. Maddie,
So-
I don't think physically, Maddie, I can stand watching the Eagles fans that live in Jersey and just they can't have Maddie. They cannot have the Phillies and the Eagles and the no.
Oh, they can't have that. They can't afford that.
They have to suffer. They can get there. They just better not win.
Exactly.
You have to suffer, Philly. Screw you.
True Philadelphia Philly fans and Eagle fans and just Philadelphia sports fans in general.
Screw you. The Sixers, the Phillies, the Eagles, all of you. Goodbye.
All right, so I got the Eagles there. I think at the end of the day, it's about Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow. I just think that Jalen Hurts is just going to be phenomenal. But I have my MVP being the guy who helped me win my fantasy championship, Devontae Smith.
My God, come on, man. Oh.
Okay, so the reason why Devontae Smith has come up clutch over the course of the regular season as his number 2 receiver, and I think that he'll shine bright in the Super Bowl more than A.J. Brown, and I think that he'll make Lynn Swan-like catches. So, to recap what we all have, I have the Eagles winning the Super Bowl against the Bengals with Devontae Smith winning Super Bowl MVP. Lolo has the Eagles winning the Super Bowl against the Bills with Jalen Hurts being MVP. and Ryan has the Eagles beating the Bills as well, or the Bills beating the Eagles rather.
No, the Bills beating the Eagles.
Yeah, the Bills beating the Eagles with Josh Allen as his MVP.
Yes.
So, bragging rights are on the line.
How many points can you get?
A maximum of 24.
All right, Maddie, I'm getting a 24-point. Watch it. Watch. 24 until proven otherwise. That's the mindset.
That's the mindset. Okay, but that's gonna do it for the show, folks. A lot of hot takes on this show.
Maddie, this is why we do this.
This is why we do this. Okay, so we're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. So we're on YouTube at Siriani Says Sports, on Twitter at Siri Says Sports. That account, by the way, I'm trying to get back because it got hacked earlier this week. I'm trying to get that account back, but don't worry, it will come back. So we got Twitter, we got YouTube, we got Facebook at Siriani Says Sports, we got Instagram at Siriani Says Sports as well. If you want to see more of me and Loro, you can catch us on Talking Sports with Loro and Matt every Saturday at 2 p.m., I think, right, Loro?
Yeah, before we're doing a pregame edition of the next 2 Saturdays, we're doing a pregame edition of Super Wildcard Weekend and Divisional Weekend.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that on Saturday. Should be fun. We're calling 4 games on Twitter Spaces over the course of the week. Should be a lot of fun. And yeah, follow us on all our social platforms. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. A lot of stuff happened on this show. A lot of freezing, a lot of glitches, but we persevere, and that's what happens. So, from Ryan Bear Jr. and Loro Antonio, I'm Matt Siriani. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night. Go Giants! And, of course, peace out.
Have a great night.